multiverse isn't just for Marvel movies anymore. Scientists have recently proposed that parallel universes could actually be colliding with our own, which brings us to a mind-bending story about what happens when multiple versions of Earth start merging into one.
That's absolutely fascinating. You know how sometimes you get that weird déjà vu feeling? This takes that to a whole new level.
Well, imagine waking up to find the moon completely missing from the sky, and your neighbor, someone you've known for years, has no idea who you are. That's exactly what we're exploring in this new story called Time Sync.
So we're not just talking about theoretical physics here. This is about the human impact of cosmic events.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. Only one version of Earth can survive when these realities merge. It's like cosmic natural selection on an unprecedented scale.
That's giving me some serious quantum leap vibes, but with much higher stakes. How would society even begin to handle something like that?
Well, think about how streaming services changed the entertainment industry. Now multiply that disruption by 1,000,000. You'd have governments trying to maintain order while dealing with multiple versions of their own history.
Oh wow, like what if in one reality World War II had a different outcome? Or if the Industrial Revolution happened differently?
Right, and that's just the macro level. On a personal scale, you might discover that another version of you made completely different life choices and ended up as, say, an astronaut instead of whatever career you chose.
The psychological implications are staggering. It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where people could access their alternate life paths.
You know, that's a really interesting comparison. But unlike Black Mirror, where you just see these alternatives, in Time Sync, you're actually forced to confront them in real time.
And deal with the fact that your version of reality might not be the one that survives.
Exactly. It's like being in a cosmic elimination game, where the prize is existence itself. The story raises some fascinating questions about identity and consciousness.
Well, from a storytelling perspective, it's brilliant because it combines high-concept sci-fi with deeply personal stakes.
And unlike traditional parallel universe stories that keep the alternates separate, this forces direct confrontation between different versions of reality. It's like if sliding doors happened to everyone simultaneously.
That must create some incredible dramatic possibilities. What happens when someone meets a version of a deceased loved one from another reality?
That's where the story really shines. It explores how these cosmic events affect individual human relationships. Like imagine finding out your spouse chose someone else in another reality.
The emotional complexity would be overwhelming. It's like having every what-if moment in your life suddenly become tangible.
And here's another layer to consider. What happens to our understanding of truth when multiple contradictory versions of history are equally valid?
So it's not just about physical survival, but about whose reality becomes the official version.
Precisely. It's like a massive game of cosmic Rashomon, where every perspective is simultaneously true and false. The story really challenges our assumptions about the nature of reality itself.
That's such a clever way to explore both universal themes and deeply personal stories simultaneously.
And unlike most multiverse stories that focus on heroes trying to prevent collapse, this one asks what happens when the collapse is inevitable and we have to deal with the consequences.
It's almost like a metaphor for how we deal with change in our own lives, just on a much grander scale.
Well, that's what makes it so compelling. It takes these massive cosmic concepts, but grounds them in very human experiences. It's about choice, identity, and what we consider real.
And in the end, it makes us question which parts of our reality we'd fight to preserve if everything started shifting around us.
You know what? Maybe that's why the story resonates so much right now. In a world where reality sometimes feels like it's constantly shifting, it's asking questions we're already grappling with.
Though hopefully without the disappearing moon part.
Right, let's all agree to keep our celestial bodies exactly where they are. But maybe check on your neighbors occasionally, just to make sure they still remember you.